Okay, we are continuing our theme that anatomists are lazy, and that's a good thing for us because, again, if we can establish the bones, we can establish the ligaments that are connecting them. So let's look at the pelvis ligaments right now. So we're looking at pelvic ligaments, and so again, we have our ilium here, we have our ischium here, and the pubic. Actually, you can look through. There's the pubic bone. Anterior from us. So let's look right now. We're going to look on the patient right. And anytime you are looking at a patient, it's always in reference to the patient. So this is patient right. So we have the ilium right there, and we have ligaments here. So if I take out my tool, I have a ligament here, we have ligaments here, we have ligaments here. So let's name the ligaments. Well, it's going to be really easy. All we have to do is find the bones that they connect to. So we have our sacrum right there, our wonderful sacrum. You can see it outlined right there. And we have our ilium. Now we are looking at a posterior view. So this is the back of the sacrum. So we have all these ligaments here. Those are our posterior sacroiliac ligaments. And there's a lot of them, but you can see how they're basically connecting the posterior sacrum coming over here to the ilium. And we come down here. We have, again, we have our sacrum right here. So there's our sacrum. And then we have this part right down here to connect this ligament. Well, let's break it down. That is the ischial tuberosity. That's the sacrum. So this ligament, I can get to it. Oh, I got to get rid of that for a second. Sorry. That's our sacrotuberous ligament going from the ischial tuberosity to the sacrum. So again, we just use your basic knowledge and where it's going to go. Now, if we're going to spin this a little bit, we have a wonderful bony landmark right here, right? And we have our sacrum right there. And so we got that little ligament connecting them. What's that bony landmark? Very good. That's our ischial spine. So that should be our sacral spinous ligament. Again, going to the ischial spine. So if we have a posterior sacroiliac ligament, what does that mean? Well, that means we have to have an anterior sacroiliac ligament. And you can see right there, there's our ilium, there's our sacrum, there's connective tissue right there. So there's our anterior sacroiliac ligament. And if we come back and we look inside the pelvis, again, we have our wonderful ischial spine right there. I have my ischial tuberosity there with the ligaments. We have an anterior view of these ligaments. So if we get rid of them, there's our sacral spinous, there's our sacral tuberous ligaments, looking at it from the anterior side. But same idea. If you know the bony landmarks, everything else should make sense. Again, there's our inguinal ligament running right here. And if we want to, we can actually draw, sorry about that. We can come right here. We can actually draw, again, you're going to have arteries coming here, going underneath and diving down. You're going to have a nerve, which is always in yellow, coming down, diving down, and blues, which typically are your veins, coming underneath the ligament and diving down into the lower extremity. So that would be our pelvic ligaments. Again, should be fairly basic because all we're looking is naming the tissue that connects to bony landmarks.